Well, listen, Sam just walked in, so I guess we can get started. I have made it till exactly 2:03 without shedding a tear, and here they come. So, welcome to ShmooCon. Just out of curiosity, there's still folks coming in, so we're going to slow roll just for the first few minutes. How many people here are here for their first and last ShmooCon? Wow. How many people here have been to, let's say, at least 3? All right, the hands are going to start going down because it was at least 3, right? So hands up, hands up. How many have been to 5? How many? What?
Some hands went up.
No. Okay, let's try this again. Everybody in the audience, if you have been to at least 3 or more, hands up. That's still not a lot, guys. Come on. Okay, if you have been to 5 or more, hands stay up. If you have been to 8 or more, Daxton, your hand's going to go down soon, buddy.
But it hits 14.
Yes, that's exactly right. Okay. If you have been to 10 or more, if you've been to 15 or more, sorry,
Wow.
bud. If you have been to all 20, keep your hand up.
Wow.
Wow.
Ted has been to all 20.
That's pretty cool. We're super glad you're here, no matter if it's your first or last. It's everybody's last ShmooCon. So we're super glad you're here, right, Bruce?
Very.
Right, staff? We're glad they're here. Yeah. We're going to go through kind of the same. If you've been here before, my slides don't change too much in the opening. We're going to go through who, what, when, where, why, how, and some other stuff, because I like to do things in list format. It's the way my brain works. We're going to give you some tidbits about the con and how to survive your way through it. And then we get to story time, and that's the fun time at the end, right? So that's when I try to talk and Bruce interrupts me a lot.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know, we'll probably trade off here and there. We're going to try to keep opening as normal as possible for some definition of normal. We're not sure what that is around here, right? All right, we're gonna keep on moving on. You know, so the last time I gave a talk, which was not that long ago, I had the complete honor and privilege of keynoting JohnCon up in PA, and it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. And right before the talk, see, we're on slide 1, and I'm pulling a Bruce Potter. And I was about 10 minutes before I was supposed to go on stage. And I said, Bruce, could you just check my slides for me? Because I made a couple changes, and I'd like you to just make sure that it makes sense. I want to make sure that the flow works. Could you look at them for me? And so Bruce goes, yeah, sure, no problem, babe. And he sits down, and I'm looking over his shoulder, and I'm looking, and all of a sudden I'm like, are my slides disappearing?
I was in presenter view, and I was hitting delete to go backwards, and somehow in presenter view, which you can never edit, right? Not ever can you click on a thing and make anything happen. I deleted the entire presentation except for the title slide.
He deleted my entire presentation 10 minutes
Also,
before I was supposed to go on stage.
Yeah, this is definitely a thing you should applaud. The undo buffer is about 15 slides, and it was like a 30-slide presentation. So that's when the terror really set in, was when Command-Z stopped working. It was like, well, I guess I'm going to walk home.
And, I mean, we had, like, sort of a saved... This is a lesson to you all. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I don't really speak that often. But I advise people who speak. Apparently did not take my own advice. While we did have it sort of backed up, I had not, like, completely backed up all the changes I had just made.
The kids would say if you use Google Slides to set up PowerPoint, you wouldn't have to worry about such things.
I hate Google Slides with a passion. With a passion. This comes from the person who edits this person's slides, and I hate Google Slides. So there's a reason I don't use it. There's a reason why the Own the Con slides are in what family?
Keynote.
Whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
Still
that thing
uses
is.
Keynote.
Keynote's terrible too. Let's get real. Anyway, so I was just laughing because I looked down, and of course I'm in presenter mode here, and I just had this fear like go through me as I look down at my screen. So I'm going to very carefully push
Shortest
a button.
opening ever.
Oh, we
There we go.
advanced. Okay, so we're good. We're going to talk. I use ChatGPT Dolly for all of these images. I think I did pretty good, right? Right. Who? Did you get the joke? Right? Ha, 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 ha.
Because moose say who. That's the joke. Ah!
I love that Bruce is here for the color commentary. Wonder what we're going to learn about this year. Gourd husbandry. Yes, somebody was here last year.
No. Not doing that again. No.
No. All right, so who's here? Let's go through that. ShmooCon staff, my favorite people in the room, no offense to the rest of you, but my staff is here, and we love them so much. This year they are wearing blue shirts. Boy, that really shows us a lot. I should have put the back of the shirt on there. But Branson, can you stand up, please?
Oh.
Potter children can stand up, please. Okay, show them your back, honey. Your back, okay. Branson's showing everybody your back. So this is the staff shirt. If you have any questions while you are here, need any help, that's who to target. We have about 95 on-site volunteers. Every single team on the ShmooCon staff wears the same shirt. We do that by design. It's because we like to think we're all equipped to answer all the questions. We're not, but they are all equipped to help you as best they can. If you're not sure who to ask, the best place to go, of course, is Reg Desk. Okay, we got that. Anything to add to that, Mr. Potter?
No.
Good
No.
answer. But you do get the next slide, part of it,
I
because
need to pay
it's
attention.
the fun slide. Speakers, we love our speakers. If you're a speaker this year, please raise your hand. Or not, but you're going to get called out sooner or later. So we love our speakers. Super, super excited about the lineup this year. I think it's fantastic. We have 65 speakers at the con this year. 36 are new to speaking on our stage. And let's say roughly about 10. That count was it's a little inaccurate because it's a little hard to suss out. But about 10 have never spoken at a major conference before. It's about the same as last year. So we love that too. The next bullet point is yours.
So the Shmoo Ball this year, for those that know what a Shmoo Ball is actually a Schmoderboard cap.
Yeah, say that fairly fast.
It's kind of ridiculous. So for those that don't know what a Shmoo Ball is, it's in your program, but I'll spare you from having to read.
I can tell you what page number.
Oh, well, then, okay. One of the genesi of ShmooCon
Page 5.
was an effort to hold the speakers accountable for what they were
Sorry,
saying to the
speakers,
audience.
we didn't tell you, but you should have already known. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, you should have figured this shit out. And the person who actually ran the first ShmooCon, Beetle, who unfortunately could not be with us today, kind of last minute, he and I were in Vegas and having a conversation about some bullshit that was happening on stage at Black Hat, and ended up, that's basically where he was like, we wouldn't let that happen if we ran a con. We're like, oh yeah, totally. He's like, we should run a con. I'm like, yeah, this is great. We're hammered in Vegas. This is totally like drunk Vegas talk. And then he went home and
Yeah, he called us like 2 weeks later. He's like, yeah, I took out a mortgage on my house and I didn't tell my wife, so we have to make this happen and I have to have my money back.
This is being live streamed. Anyway, so
Sorry, Beetle.
So they Beetle had the first con, and part of the organization were like, how do you hold the speakers to account? And you go to these conferences and they have microphones in the aisles, and you tell people, if you have a question, come to the microphone. The percentage of good questions that come from the microphone rounds towards 0, right? People walk up like, I don't have so much of a question as much as my life story.
Bruce has now prevented all of you from asking questions.
Yeah,
Good job, Bruce.
except for you all. You all will ask great questions. Shit. Sorry. So anyway, and it's intimidating too, right? Like, you ask someone, Space Rogue, stand up right there. Just go stand in the middle of the aisle. In the aisle, see? Now everybody's looking at him. Is he the speaker? No, but he's taking all the attention in the room.
But you're not even going to ask a question.
You're not
going
to ask a question.
You're
So,
just going to tell us stuff.
Space Rogue is a personality, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. And he's not afraid to stand up in front of you all and do that, but there are a lot of people where that's an intimidating thing. If I called some random person, like your heart would race, you're like, I don't want to do this shit. And so invariably, people don't engage with the speakers. And so the idea was like, hey, how can we get the audience to hold the speaker accountable without actually having to stand up and do something? And so we armed everyone with a weapon. And we gave them the Shmoo Ball. And so the Shmoo Ball is a form of discourse that if you disagree or have a question on what's going on stage, we encourage you to throw it. In the early years, we actually...
I was going to say, ShmooCon trivia time. What was the first Shmoo Ball?
Oh, God.
Yellow foam.
It was just a yellow foam ball. You could throw it like 3 feet.
I was so terrified of hurting people.
Oh, yeah. We got samples and we're like beaning each other with them. Like, well, that one hurt, and we went with the softest one. It was like basically a cotton ball. And then one year we went with ping pong balls. This was a mistake.
Also a bad idea.
Because we bought ping pong balls from one company.
Listen, I didn't know they had a spec, okay?
Yeah, there's an ISO standard for ping pong ball diameter, and we bought balls that weren't adherent to the standard. And so the balls were smaller in diameter than the hole in the ping pong ball guns that we got. And so a ping pong ball gun works by building up pressure behind the ping pong ball. And so when the ball doesn't form a seal, it just rolls out the end. And so people are trying to like,
then we're like flinging
and
them.
it's not working. And they try to throw the ball. You can't throw a ping pong ball for shit. So then they threw the gun. Not okay. Not okay. Oh yeah, speakers had paddles that year, and then one year we tried to do like a whiteboard because we were worried about the liability. And so A, you can't see from up here, so that didn't work. Also B, people drew dongs, so we're like, okay, this is totally not okay. And so now it's just been like...
and then we had the interactive moose.
Oh God, the interactive moose.
Are you here? Where's... No,
That
the
was
interactive moose people.
That was the craziest thing. So the idea, like, we tried to get away from actually throwing things, right? We tried to advance the state of the art of audience participation.
We used to allow extra Shmoo balls to encourage the throwing. We stopped doing that, and everybody wanted to keep their Shmoo balls.
Keep 'em,
so that
yeah.
actually kind of...
Yeah, I got hit with a Shmoo ball launcher ball that hit me in the chest at like 100 miles an hour one year. Yeah, fuck off. So,
then we outlawed the Shmoo ball launchers. Anyway, we're going through some history here. It's all fun and games, but if you deign to throw your I typed that and I can't say it.
Smorgasbord.
The cap. If you deign to throw that, just it's a gentle lob, right? You
deign
are not
to throw it.
That's a word.
Yeah, that they use in England.
I went to England this year. I picked up some English. Verily. English. I speak it. Somewhat. Yes, if you deign to throw it, just deign to throw it softly.
I'm supposed to softly throw a Dane. If we have any Danish people, could you come to the front? We will softly throw you at speakers.
What he
No
said.
volunteers, okay.
Or no Danes.
Woohoo, thank God.
It's only part Danish. Okay.
Or a bagel.
Or a little Hawaiian. For that story. Okay, can you do a thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit delete. Okay.
Them's fighting words, honey. Okay, so sponsors. If you're a sponsor in the audience, raise your hand because we love you too. They're all out there working. Oh, some of them are in here. Woohoo!
Wow, there's none in here.
We actually really like our sponsors. Not only do they give us money, that part's kind of cool, but they've always, from the very early days, we've always challenged our sponsors to bring something really different, different to the con, to like bring different challenges to really engage with the audience. And they've always really met that challenge. So we really appreciate that. There we go. And, but we have a lot of them here today. A lot of the booths have contests. Wow, I'm tired. Lots of different swag. Anyway, you know, they're hiring, they're promoting product, whatever. Go visit them. They're great people. They're fantastic, and they really are a big part of this event, and they help us make sure it happens. So let's give them a big round of applause real quick. I'm going to get off of this now. Yeah, I'm going to get off the moose. It's like I'm stuck. No. Okay, are we moving the moose? Okay. We're moving the moose. This is awkward. Okay. All right. It is like John Con all over again, for those of you who saw that. Holy cow. Holy moose. Thank you for the correction. All right, students, if you are here on the ShmooCon student program, raise your hand. right? All right, I was just in talking with all of them. We love our students at ShmooCon. The ShmooCon student program, for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like a little sponsorship program. If you're a schmoozer who helped us bring those students to ShmooCon, we thank you. Yay, you are amazing. We have 58 schmoozers in the audience and 82 students in on the Schmoozer student program. So the schmoozers helped do that, and then I, of course, I'm a big old pushover and let more folks in. So part of the deal when you apply for Schmoozer student is that we ask you to send us a fun picture. So those of you who have been here a number of years know that this is part of the fun. So pictures, only one tree photo this year. So that's cool and exciting. Of course, we have our memes. The server rack's always a common theme. Some pictures in the rooms and dorms, you know, that kind of thing. It's not there in advance. We had some group shots this year. This one included their inspo photos, so I thought that was kind of cool in case we didn't know what the inspiration was. I did the other card photo because it kind of matched. And then this, I believe this is RPI, and I don't know what that is in the background, but there were a lot of, they decided to all take their picture in front of that. So I don't know, it looks kind of like a, thank you. I was gonna like look it up, but I didn't, and I just assumed it was cool.
Well, you weren't sure if it was a computer or not a computer.
I don't know. I kind of thought maybe like Thor lived there.
That was a quantum joke, people. You gotta, thank you, Space Rogue.
I just thought it was like from that place where
that
Thor
place.
lives.
Yeah.
That I can't remember the name of right now.
It's a good story. Yeah.
Asgard. That's what I thought. I thought it was from
It's
there.
Jotunheim. They went to Jotunheim to take the photo.
All right, so then we have the standard pictures from around campus, and then this last photo, I'm gonna just without comment let you look in the background and y'all can chuckle for a second. I hope you can see that. Yes, no, maybe not. Some of you will know. Yeah, there's a whistle. That's all I'm gonna say. And a box of cereal. You should feel old. If you know, you know. If you don't, go look it up later. All right, so we have students here, and then, of course, all of you. And this is, of course, why we choose to put on this event. You are the inspiration. You are the reason. You are the why. We like you. And just so you know, we are expecting just over 2270 attendees this year. I don't remember the final number. That was kind of my rough memory guess. So a little more than normal, but that's what we're expecting. And that is the original ShmooCon badge from year one. So that's a little crazy. Nope.
No, that was 3.
Nope.
Or
That
2?
was 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also got the date
on it,
of the
so
first
that kind of
one.
gives it away.
So that might be
Yeah.
definitive.
The razor blade badges, for those who don't know, it was a puzzle set, and I think there were 12 or 13. And they kept sending me the proofs for those badges, and I kept saying, nope, still too sharp. So it was metal badges, and you would piece them together like a puzzle, and they were like these jagged edges in between them, and God forbid you got one of the middle ones that was sharp on both sides, right? And they kept sending me the proofs, Pablos, and I kept sending it back going, nope, still too sharp. Nope, still too sharp. Like that would cut down wood, like a tree. Nope, still too sharp. Like they were mini saws. And I finally acquiesced. I'm like, okay, I think that might work. And the literal truth is we probably should have put a box of Band-Aids in everybody's bag that year because it was ripping shirts. It was like, people were coming back with bloody hands. Sorry. All right, moving on to what and our weekend plans. Well, it wouldn't be a conference if there weren't talks. There's talks at ShmooCon, if somebody? Okay, yeah, there's talks at ShmooCon. We have several tracks, as you know. This is One Track Mind. That's Build It. Tomorrow, this becomes Bring It On. That's Belay It. Did I get that right? I don't know. You look in the map. It'll tell you if I got that wrong. We also have Fast and Furious. Those are the really short talks. And then I got them all. Yay, go me. Down the hallway, there's another room. Way down the hallway, there's another room called Buffett. That's sort of a spare room that you can use if you want to maybe do something on the fly. Now, you have to sign up for that room. I don't think we have a schedule taped to the sign yet. It is closed for certain periods of time tomorrow when we do the radio exams, though, so be aware of that. But that is available for, it's a little quieter than like the chill out room, which has a lot of things going on in there. But if you want to like have an impromptu, whatever, the Buffett room is available for that. All right, other events, they're on the website. They're mentioned in the program. They're listed here for your convenience,
Reading
your knowledge, your
enjoyment.
edification, reading enjoyment. I don't know. All I was told was to make the font bigger earlier, so I did. Right, so we've got the radio exams, we've got barcode, schmarcode. Did anybody make an entry for barcode, schmarcode? A couple of you? I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
That helps. That helps. Yeah, okay, we'll come back to that one. I got nothing.
Yeah,
We're old. This is not working. This is not working.
Apparently our hearing is going as
Throw
well.
the microphone out there so they can. No, don't.
Okay. So down the hallway, we've got the Lockpick Village, the radio frequency CTF. If you look in the chill out room, you're going to find the Crypto College. Of course, tonight we've got the Fire Talks. Hack Fortress is down there. They'll be running free play at some point today, and then the competitions start tomorrow. I cannot wait. ShmooCon Labs was running all day yesterday. They're responsible for the network, well, they manage all the internet drops. They also help me unload the truck every year, so I love that. So thank you, ShmooCon Labs. And then the book swap is in the chill out room as well, and then ShmooGonography is another competition running around the con as well. So look for all of those. Other stuff, Bruce?
Sponsors have a bunch of contests going at their booths, so please check them out. Visit our sponsors. Also, there's other contests hidden around the con, so be sure to keep your eyes out. If it looks weird, it's either a mistake or a contest. You get to decide.
We didn't put the year on the badges this year, right? Were we good?
No, we put the year on the badges.
We
It's
put
a
the year- we
bold
put
move.
the
I screwed
right
that up a
year.
few times. Yep, I've screwed that up. There's also a T-shirt of infamy that has
Who's
just
got the green shirt on? The green with the bars?
Mike had one on, I think. I don't know if Mike's
Anybody in the
around.
room have that on?
There it is.
There it
yeah,
is.
so this shirt, if you look closely, it's right at his belly button. There's a rectangle. This is
not
when
at
I
his
was
belly
still
button,
learning
it's
how
higher,
to do.
but-
I was doing graphic design. I didn't know how to like snap to or do any kind of alignment thing. So I made a rectangle to arrange the other rectangles on the shirt. And so they were all separated by this distance. And at some point, I just moved the one rectangle to the bottom of the artboard, thinking I'd go back and delete it, and forgot.
At least it's centered. At least it's centered.
It's centered right over your belly button. There's just a random rectangle hanging out on that shirt. We sold them. No one said shit. It wasn't until like 2 years later, we were going through storage. I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, people will buy anything.
All right. Well,
Anything.
so-
like,
and then,
this is my belly button. Okay.
I framed it. There's also the Internet Villain shirt that's running around.
Oh,
that
God.
is the it's got the big white. It's framed out in white. That was a mistake.
It was supposed to be the.
I mean, it looks fine, but
The
it was
colors were
actually
supposed
supposed
to
to
be
be reversed.
swapped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that was a
was kind of
mistake.
funny. But you bought that too, so thank you.
Yeah. This year I just like scribbled with a Wacom tablet and we sold 1,000 shirts. It was great. And I was like, fuck you. Blah.
Wasn't that
People
bad.
paid for it.
But speaking of T-shirt sales,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what we were speaking
good
of.
segue.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, me. Yeah. So we give you T-shirts. You give charities money. So for $15, you get to pick the T-shirt that you want, and then you drop a little, not poker chip, into a bin, and you can support either EFF or RIF, baby. For those of us of a certain age, RIF, Reading is Fundamental, actually rings true. I was surprised they still exist, which is pretty cool. Sales will start today at 4 p.m., and you can queue if you so choose prior to that, but we will not let you in the door to buy things until 4 o'clock.
All right, and I believe, just for starters, we are putting a limit on how many shirts you can buy so that more people have an opportunity to buy shirts. I believe we are limiting that to 4. Okay.
4.
All right, tomorrow we will have, I'd love to say a bunch, but it is a relative bunch of old con stuff for sale. So we have old bags. old T-shirts of some sizes. What else do we have, Bruce? No.
Nope.
I actually enjoy being married most of the time.
Related, a box of T-shirts were burned in Maryland a few weeks ago. No one knows why. It was a damn mystery.
Total. He has actually paid people money for their.
She was appalled. So, for those that don't know, years ago I gave a talk at DEF CON, and
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, and I was on another planet. And at some point, I growled in the microphone, "Bow to my firewall," and it was an epic rant. It was one of my finest moments. And then Beetle made it into a promo for the first ShmooCon and set it to like German death metal. So there's like, "Bow to my firewall," this whole thing goes on. And then that got memorialized as a T-shirt.
Hallelujah, brother. That'll save.
What?
It ends with "Hallelujah, brother." That'll.
Oh,
save
hallelujah, brother, that'll save your butt. Yeah, that was, oh my God, it's so weird. Anyway, that got memorialized into a T-shirt, and you don't want to be Bart Simpson, right? You don't want to walk down in public and see yourself on a shirt. It's really weird. I don't like it. And so we were at the mall in Columbia, and some dude was walking down, and I spotted the shirt from like across the mall. I walked up to him and was like, "I'll give you $100 to take that shirt off right now." And that dude was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "No!" And didn't let me buy the shirt off the dude.
Well,
but I didn't open.
What's the rule when you tell somebody to take their shirt off? You also
I didn't have
to
a
tell
spare,
them.
I guess. I could have given him mine, but yeah, so I have an open bounty on those T-shirts.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Come find me later.
No. Anyway, the old stuff goes on sale tomorrow, sometime around 2. We also have bags of crap. Bags of crap is just bags full of old stuff from old bags, right? So it's just bags of crap. I promise, though, this year we did not fill one entire bag with that stuff I can't say. That's the easier word. That word. See, Jenny's got me. I still can't say that word. One time we filled a whole bag of crap with all of those little packets and sold it.
People will buy anything.
Well, they didn't know, but it's a bag of crap, people. Sorry. Stuff, but there's no more of those. I know.
You put your weed in there.
I know. What she's alluding to is I also used to hide tickets to the following con in the bags of crap, right? And so, of course, we put one in that bag because that was really lame of us. But there's none of that hiding in those bags this year because reasons. Okay, Saturday night. So Saturday night, we will have in this room right here the Shmoo FAQ run by Lynn Tile and his team. I happen to have a little bit of insight on what some of those topics are this year, and they are going to be a lot of fun. In the room right there, we will be running board games again, so come down and join us. It will be a ton of fun. I will be down there. I have 2 games that I will be playing, code names, because code names. And then, for those of you that don't know, Codenames is the best game on the planet. And then I'm going to be playing Happy Little Dinosaurs at some point, so if you want to join me in that, let me know. All right, there will be a cash bar set up outside. We will still be masking for both those events, so just be aware of that. I don't mind if you're drinking, but, mask come down, take a drink, put the mask back up kind of thing, right? So we're all going to be sensitive about that. Please and thank you. Okay, where and when? See, I'm doing good. Dolly did me solid with these images, even spelled things right for once. I know. Well, don't tell me if it's wrong. There's no weird moose finger hands thing going on. We're fine. All right, if you need to know where things are happening, the best place to look is the schedule. You can find that in your program. And for those of you who run events, the best place to put the schedule in the program is at the centerfold. There, that's my one tip for all of you. Take that to the bank. Centerfold, baby. The online schedule, though, however, is always going to be the most current and best schedule because the minute you print your programs, they are out of date. That's tip number 2. We also have them on banners outside, but again, once you print those, they often become obsolete. So online's most current, but this year we haven't had really any changes. One thing of note, we do have one speaker due to the fire in California who will be presenting virtually. That's Virus's talk on, help me out, somebody? On Saturday morning. Saturday at 10, thank you. So that will be a virtual presentation, but still, come in the audience. We will have people on hand relaying questions and stuff. So come support him regardless because I know he can use it. His house is still standing. Yeah, his house is still standing.
Yay, virus.
All right. So if there are changes, we'll put them out. We'll be announcing them. It'll go on Mastodon, that thing we don't refer to anymore, and Blue Sky. We'll let you know, just like we did just now. There's the map. Was I right? Oh, I got it right. So you have this in the program as well, near the center, near your schedule, so you know where things are. My staff should know where everything is, so you can ask them as well. They also should be wearing it around their neck so they can show you. And if their eyes are old, I gave them all what? I gave them all magnifying glasses this year so they didn't have to squint. This is what happens when you run an event for 20 years. Your eyes get old, too. Okay, how? You want to go through some of these survival tips, Mr. Potter?
Sure. Badges and masks must be worn at all times. One is not a substitute for the other. So please, when you're on the con floor, wear your mask, have your badge on. Not in the pocket, not in the bag, et cetera, et cetera. We're pretty serious about it. Security is keeping an eye out. Sometimes you just forget. That's cool. If you run out of masks and you lose one, we have some spares, but not a ton. So keep track of the thing on your face, right? Your glasses and your mask.
And your nose.
And your nose. Don't put them places where you forget. Also,
awkward.
We have photography rules here. We ask that when you take a photograph, that everyone in frame is consenting to being photographed. No crowd shots, no taking shots of your friends with a whole bunch of other people behind. If we see you doing that, we're going to ask you to delete the photos, and if it becomes a habit, we're going to ask you to get out of here. So those are two things that are relatively unique in this world, right? Wearing masks and having photography rules are things that a lot of conferences don't bother doing, but we feel pretty strongly about. We want to keep you safe, and we want to keep others safe. And that is two things alone, our personal privacy and physical safety, all wrapped up into one. So we would ask that you take it seriously, too, and we'll get through this.
He's got his radio voice on, folks.
I do. Well, this is one where I'm unbending on and feel pretty passionately about. And I would encourage you to get passionate about both personal safety and personal privacy. They're pretty important, and it turns out they're kind of going downhill today, so we'd like to keep it around.
So on that note, we do have 4 official ShmooCon photographers. All right, so I will point them out to you. Carson? I don't even know if they're all in the room, but Carson, Edward, are you in the room? Edward, stand up, Edward. He's quite small, so
It's like
Edward.
Carson Jr., I think.
Carson Jr. Eli, over here, and me is back in the back. So they are our official photographers, and guess what? They follow all the same rules, right? So just be aware of that. All right, keep going.
The network is run by Labs. It's up and running. Looks like everything's been going gangbusters. So look to the program to understand which networks there are. There's multiple. I would encourage you, go enroll in the WPA3 network. It's super easy. It's secure, and it's run by some world-class folks with some world-class gear. So we thank the Labs for setting up the network and getting that all up and running. So thanks, Labs. Yay! Woo. And then it's slightly less exciting news. You get 25% off your parking today. Hot damn.
And tomorrow.
Yeah. So instead of taking your teeth and your kidney, they just take your teeth. It's DC, people. It's a little expensive to leave your car here. So if you booked on the block, it should be on your room already. If you need, we have parking vouchers at the reg desk that you can get to get out and save yourself. I guess it's like 25%, it's like $10,000, I guess. So it's pretty good.
I think it makes it like $42 instead of $56 or
it's
something
not as bad
like
as I
that.
thought.
So it's not
Okay.
not
All right.
$10,000. I don't know.
It's our last year. I can say some shit about the Hilton. I mean, hi.
Listen.
I'll be quiet.
Listen.
Okay.
Okay. We do have security at ShmooCon.org. That's an email that's monitored 24/7. When I go to sleep, I have people on the West Coast monitoring that email for me, and they will wake me up if something is going down. So know that you can email that, but please, that's like emergency situation stuff. It's not like it's hot in the room. Can you turn down the temperature, please? That's not what that that's not what that's for, right? I only say that because that's actually happened. So, the coffee is hot. But do know that that's available. We will respond to it. I get up at all hours of the night while I'm here. So I get up at all hours.
I know. I know it's you. Trust me.
All right. So how to be happy come Monday morning? We're going to be happy come Monday morning, right, everybody? It's going to be grand. Eat and hydrate, please, especially on the hydrate. Sleep and shower, basic hygiene. And learn. That's why you're here, right? To meet, greet, learn, take the opportunity for why we are gathered together.
You're going to let me talk again?
Briefly.
So first of all, eating at conferences can be one of those things you don't realize you need to do it until it's too late. So you can plan ahead, have some snacks, that kind of thing. Also, we become big believers in electrolytes. Holy shit. Liquid IV is actually a real thing.
I'm an Element girl.
Yeah, she drinks Element, which is basically like going to the Black Sea and drinking it, but which I didn't realize the first time that I made it. And you're supposed to mix it with like 32 to 40 ounces of water. I mixed it with like 8. It was kind of glorious. So anyway, but take care of your body, take care of yourself, listen to yourself. Oftentimes you don't know that you're dehydrated or your blood sugar's low until it's kind of too late.
Good job, Daxton.
I have been the victim of that at conferences periodically where I'm suddenly like lightheaded and sitting on the floor and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten today. So please set a reminder, eat, drink, sleep, be merry.
Be merry.
I don't know, I ran out.
Would you like to lead by example?
You want me to take a nap?
No, I would the be merry part.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yay! I am merry. Was that good?
Yeah, it's reasonable.
I think it was forced.
Oh, dad joke for the win.
Stabby, stab, stab, stab.
Okay, it is story time. It's my favorite time. But first,
Also, these animals do not cohabitate like this in the wild. I just want to say, this is a fight happening. This is not...
This is like Disney Wild.
Yeah.
Right?
Happy tree friends.
Anything. Also, we finally arrived at weird moose hands. They're not too weird. They're actually still 3, sort of. It's got a thumb. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Whatever. I didn't dig too deep on that one. Okay, so y'all have opened your bags. We're going to talk about, this is going to all lead into each other. Those are my dogs. The Stargate. Well, I guess who doesn't know about the Stargate? There's so many of you here. You
can admit it. It's okay.
It's okay if you don't know about the Stargate, but we need to start there. Briefly, Mr. Potter, 4 or 5 sentences.
I like how she briefly, knowing that if you let me off the leash, it's going to be a disaster.
This is why I said it, right?
Yeah,
we have to address the fact I said briefly. That's going to take us 10 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, so years ago, Will Newton and Mike and Owen? Yeah, 2 guys. One of them worked for me, and one of them's glad he didn't. Ran a contest. They still run it called ShmooCon2025, and it's a steganography thing. It's always great and complicated. And so they built a whole Stargate-themed thing one year. And so they then constructed a physical Stargate, and it had lights up behind the thing, and it had symbols all over, and it was part of the puzzle. And so then at the end of the con, you're like, you got this really nice piece of art. What do you want to do with it? And I think at first it just came home with us. And then it sat on the floor in our basement and collected cat hair for a while. And then we brought it back, and then it ended up getting auctioned off for charity. And it was like the black spot. People would buy it on the auction and then give it to random people, and then you had to possess this goddamn thing for
it's
a
big.
full year. It's huge.
You can stand under it.
Yeah.
Well, I can stand under it.
Haim, wasn't it over your door at RIT? Where the hell's Haim? Yeah, he's a professor at RIT, and it was over his door. That's how big it was, right? It's been to weddings, it's been to universities, it's been all over the damn place.
Yeah, so it's been auctioned off. It's raised tens of thousands of dollars for charity over the years because the money goes, to the whatever charity.
And to be clear, this is like the Mars Odyssey rover. It was designed to work for like 3 days, and now NASA's like, shit, this is like 15 years into this. What do we do with this goddamn thing? It's all rickety and covered in dust.
Yeah, it took a beating. It's been shored up a couple of times. We had to do some massive repairs on it, with, I don't know, I don't even know what magic happened. Over the years, people have signed it every time they took it home. But we knew its days were numbered, right? So in your bags, there's a little bag in your bags, a little paper bag with the sticker on it. And if you've opened that bag already, you will have discovered a little Stargate of your own, right? And you will see inside that resin some specks. That is pieces of the Stargate.
Yeah, it's all. Everyone has the black spot now. You can give it to your enemies, and they have to deal with it.
So, Mike and Will, I don't know if you're in the room, but we have some special Stargates for you at some point as well. But this was a epic undertaking, okay? And it was mostly managed by the three in front here.
Most children get winter breaks when winter comes along.
Yeah.
No.
Most teachers get winter breaks.
They spent their entire Christmas break making Stargates.
So we explored a number of ideas of what we wanted to do with this, and ultimately kind of landed on, well, we're going to do a resin pour. We want to do a Stargate themed thing, and then we had to figure out the how.
So the first thing you got to do is figure out how to make a mold, right? And we first looked into like making our own molds, and we realized that was psychotic. And like we're willing to like go and do a lot of weird shit, but that was like too weird. So we picked a company in Vermont that makes custom silicone molds, mostly for edibles these days, because it turns out people like weed, and weed is not legal. So everyone wants to make weed in like little shapes. We just want to make weird, nerdy things. So we start working with the dude, and I do a lot of the kind of easier graphics work for the con, and I don't do 3D art for shit. And so I sent some crappy art to the sales guy. He sent me back some even crappier art, and we're kind of like, eh. And then he says, there's an engineer here who's a really big Stargate fan. He would like to design it. I'm like, oh, okay. So that cat designed the thing. So then we get the proof, and then they make it, and it comes to us. Then there's a second issue of how to get a Stargate into little pieces.
Right. So we're staring at the Stargate, and we're like, okay, well, wood chipper? No, that doesn't sound good. Well, scissors, that's going to really hurt, but I don't know. And then I'm sitting in I don't know where I was, on the couch, and Bruce comes up to me, and he goes, do you mind if I use the blender? To which I said, we have a blender?
Yeah. So this is weird.
Which we don't, by the way.
We were really worried that we would use up all the Stargate and not be able to have enough parts to go into these little things. It turns out that was wildly incorrect.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Not at all. So I was like,
blender.
I need something to put in the blender to like the Stargate. And so we had these Christmas decorations from COVID Christmas that were these elves wearing masks, because these are things that we did during COVID, and they were on corrugated plastic, which is what the Stargate was made out of. And so I took this elf, and I shoved it in the blender, and I hit go. I wildly underestimated the static charge that was going to result from that. Some of it was atomized, some of it was just poof, stuck right to the edge, and like poof, poof, and it kept like re-sticking. It was like a lightning storm in that bottle. It was unbelievable. So eventually, I got sick of the smell, and I stopped, and we have like little tiny atomized pieces and pieces that are still like 2 inches in size. Like, well, this won't fucking work. So we played around with some other odds and ends, and then ultimately what we did is we had a little Stargate shredding party. And
yes. So thank you to, it was Jim and Kim and the Blanchards, right? Jason and Jackie came over. And we used like this the people who do bag stuffing and t-shirt rolling with us have seen it. But when we, Ponatech people, for those who used to work for us, It was the paper cutter that we found in the basement of our workspace. It's that old school, like, you know, from the 70s paper cutter. They had at all the schools with a big hatchet thing on the side.
Huge, wildly dangerous.
Turns out it'll cut a Stargate. Who knew?
So we cut the Stargate into thin strips, and then we had to use scissors, actually.
Yes, we actually ended up with scissors.
Scissors, and then we went to tin snips, and then
Right,
we went to
tin snips.
sheet metal shears, and that basically solved the problem. So,
And so what we thought, and I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately, but what we thought we were going to end up using, like, the entire Stargate. And in fact, we ended up using a section of it.
yeah, we still have a lot of the Stargate, as it turns out. Whoops.
Whoops, did not achieve what we wanted to achieve. We ended up holding all the bits. We had brought out this big container, you know, that we thought would hold it all, like all this confetti, and it covered like this much at the bottom.
Oh my God.
It was just ridiculous. Like, you know, I don't know. But anyway, so then the kids start pouring. The kids, these two on the end, Katie and Bobby, they start doing all this research on resin. We ended up going through like 3 or 4 different types of resin, you know, drying times, conditions to dry it. And it was working okay, but we needed to speed up the process, right? Because we had to pour 2,400 of these things, right? So Bruce built this, we'll call it a drying oven.
Yeah, so it was some spare like stair balusters and stuff, and then
Spare?
you
We
put
bought
the
them.
molds on the cookie
spare?
sheet. Well, the
I mean, we have a lot
the
of
white
stuff in our
pieces were
house.
spares, the other parts were new. Anyway, it was an adventure, but then you put the sheets on that, and then you cover it, and then I put germination heaters underneath it to warm it up and like not catch fire, because that would have been bad. And then let it sit for 24 hours to cure, and then wash, rinse, repeat. And we did 225 per cycle. So we did it like 11 times. What? Okay. Anyway, it took a while, because with 24 hours to cure, plus or minus, we actually inadvertently rapid cured a couple batches, so those were like half dead. Because when you rapid cure resin, some of it's cured, and some of it will never cure, as it turns out. So I ended up with resin all over my hands. Should have worn gloves, I guess, is my takeaway from that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there was a
Hello?
lot of should have worn safety equipment in this entire adventure, as it turns out.
He's exaggerating a bit. They certainly did wear masks and gloves for most of it.
They did. They were very
Yeah,
good about it.
we were safe. We've learned from the bikes and the bikes.
The infamous bike badges, yes.
Oh, God, the bike badges.
I'm
Who
so
remembers
glad I
those?
moved out.
Yeah, my kids remember those.
Those were the funniest goddamn things. So for those that don't know, this will be short.
Okay.
We did a laser cut bike one year,
I
but
don't
we
even know
wanted
where we
to
are
have
at
it
the
be a thing that you had to put together and you could turn into like a Caesar cipher thing. So there was 2 alphabets, 1 on each wheel, and in the intermediate there was a gear that you put in and you'd spin it and do all this stuff. And so we designed the whole thing in the laser, and we cut it all out in the laser, 20 some odd hundred of these bastards. And then somewhere in the middle we had to cut out the little axles. So we engineered these little tiny axles, and that would pop out of the laminate, and then you would have to snap it together, and everyone got a bag.
Like an eighth of an inch.
Yeah, they were really tiny. And all the other parts, we'd lay up as many as we can on a sheet, and we pick them up. They would all just be there, and you pick them up, you put them in the bucket or whatever, and you move on. Well, Taryn, the oldest, got the luxury of cutting
Who was like 14 at the time,
5
maybe?
per. We ended up
15?
cutting 10,000 of these axles, and they're so small that they don't fall out of the sheet because, like, the internal tension as you lift it up, they just sit there. And so he had to sit there with basically a needle and pop out 10,000 of these axles in a freezing cold garage. So he still holds that over our head to this day.
I mean,
This is our
we
Christmas.
paid
Like,
for
come
his
on.
college
Yeah, it was all
education.
over Christmas break.
So I think we're square.
Anyway.
Saying.
Yay, child labor.
Yay!
Anyway, the Potter kids have paid their due. They're amazing folks. Child labor, blah blah blah.
We also love them, as it turns out. Yeah.
Just a little.
Mostly. All right. Anyway.
Most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Fair. All right. So we have another story to tell you. This one involves the bags. Now, I'm not gonna go to the next slide yet because I want to set it up, right? And this story actually starts last year. Last year, I found a bag I really liked, and I wanted to order it for the con for the attendees. And right as I was getting ready to order. I mean, like I was like, okay, these are the bags I want, and we checked stock. It looked great, and we were going. I have a rep that I use, and he's like the middleman guy, right? I've been using. If you guys have heard me talk about him, if you've been here before, his name's Ed. He's fantastic, and he's like the middleman, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it for big orders because it saves me time. I don't have to do the negotiation. I don't have to track shipments. Ed keeps me informed of all these things. And also does things like the art checks and stuff like that, and still checks in with me, like I have final approval, but it all gets managed, and it's an amazing relationship. I mean, we're friends. And so Ed and I are working this, we find the bags, we know what we want to do, we're check stock, we're getting ready to hit go, and all of a sudden, like there's 20,000 bags in stock or more, right? And all of a sudden, as we're getting ready to order, they're all gone. They're just gone. Turns out some hospital decided to purchase them all for some program they were running, and that was a little womp womp for me, but it was kind of crazy that they all disappeared like in the same 20 minutes that I was looking at them. So whatever. Fast forward to this year.
Asshole hospital.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
So fast forward to this year, and I'm like, Ed, I really want those bags. And he's like, yep, on it. Let's go get those bags. And it turns out there's just enough stock, so he calls up. He puts them on reserve. And we're good to go, so I think. No, we weren't. So fast forward like 2 weeks, and Ed calls me. He's like, Heidi, we've got a problem. Never words I like to hear from Ed. And he says, they called me, and they're coming up short on your bags. And I said, well, okay, so do we, but I'm like, this really sucks. I really wanted the bags. But now we have to find something else, and we have a really short turnaround, and I like to touch and feel all the bags because I like to get something at least reasonably decent for you guys in my price point. And now we're starting to run out of that time, right? And he goes, well, here's the kicker. They only have 2160. I ordered like 2350, and they've already printed them. And I said, well, that's an expensive mistake for them. And Ed goes, yeah, but, let's think about how we want to handle this because we are in this tight window. And I said, yeah, no, I agree. And I said, I already know how I think I might want to solve this. I said, I want a discount. I'll buy those bags, but I want a discount, and I want to guarantee that there are 2160 of those bags. And I'm going to get different bags for my speakers and different bags for my staff, and that's how I'm going to make up the difference. And Ed's like, cool, let's do that. So we do that, and he calls and confirms that, says we need to make sure that that 2160 count is accurate, and that the quality assurance, because when they print bags, you always lose a couple bags through the process, whatever. Okay, so we call, and he gets extra assurance from the company that this is going to happen. So I'm feeling pretty confident, and we go on with our day. So we get to bag stuffing last weekend, so we always do the bag stuffing and t-shirt rolling the weekend before. And we are probably maybe about 60 bags into the bag stuffing, I don't know, something like that. And on the opening bag, or pulling out the bags out of the boxes end of the table, Jason Blanchard, who was there helping us out, goes, Heidi, I need you to come look at this. And the inside pocket, the front inside pocket, some of them are starting to be kind of sticky, like maple syrup sticky. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. All right, let's start pulling those. Let's see what's going on. So we're starting to pull those, and the number's kind of grown. We're like at 30. I'm like, that's bad, but it's not like super bad, but that's bad. We keep going. All of a sudden, there's one I can't even pry it open, and I'm like, well, that's super bad. We keep going, and here's where it gets kind of really fun. All of a sudden, we open a bag. We see a reverse logo on the inside of it.
It's not Truist Bank's fault. Don't blame them.
Oh, no, not their fault at all. And obviously, this was left on the printing pad, right? And I'm like, oh, well, that's super exciting. And at this point now, we're up to about 60-some bags that are bad. And we get to a point where we open an entire box. And this is the entire box of bags. Then we find another box. In the end, 402 bags were bad. Okay, so again, pointing at the amazing 3 ones. The 2 in the back don't live with us anymore, so they are also amazing. They just don't get to do
They're just less amazing. Let's just.
No.
They just don't get roped into the minutia of the event as much anymore. But they are also amazing. Not to pick any favorites, but these three, I'm not picking favorites. Holy cow! These three end up outside. So this is a picture of my screened-in porch. We figured out that how many bags?
55.
55 will fit in my upside-down porch furniture.
So
Just
if you
random
wonder how you
statistics.
even come to that conclusion, let me set the stage a little bit. This happened Sunday a couple days ago, right? So we're staring down the barrel, the con's happening, there's a 26-foot truck in the driveway, and a whole army of people come to our house to help stuff the bags and make the con happen, right? Sunday night, about 11 o'clock, we know it's going to snow, right? And DC deals with snow not well, and so we knew people had to get out of the house. So it's cold as shit. There's 40 people in the house, and now we have
Not that many.
30 people? There's a lot of
Whatever,
people.
Just people. We have people.
There's a lot of people in the house. And this starts to happen. So we're scrambling, because at the same time, we don't have boxes to put them in, because the bags, when you stuff them, they get bigger. And so we have to use all the boxes to put bags back in, and then use other boxes to then put bags in to put it in the truck. And so we literally have nowhere to put this pile of bags that's forming. So we start flipping over lawn furniture just to hold the goddamn bags. That's why we know 55 bags fit upside down in an upside down wicker chair, right? This is how these things happen, right? This is not a thing we planned. This is not we're oh, I guess this is where the bags live now.
So just like we had spare, we did have to go buy some, but just like we had spare the things that you made the drawing cabinet thing out of.
Oh, the stair balusters?
Yeah, just like we had some of those at our house, like you do, right? Everybody does. We also have a lot of random chemicals.
Not a meth lab. Yet. Not with that attitude.
So, again, putting my children's lives at risk, I made them go out. I didn't make them.
Again.
They offered.
Again.
Again. They went outside and they started to experiment on these bags, and they cleaned about 150 of them until we deemed it either they were done or, we just stopped. So what ended...
So it's cold as shit, and I have a half a gallon of acetone and a bunch of microfiber cloths. When we tested, that's when I realized that acetone will eat vinyl gloves. And so we had to go to nitrile gloves for the kids to keep them safe and everybody else who was helping. And then it's cold, and my first thought was, I'll turn on the propane heaters to warm things up. And then instantly was like, no. Acetone and a propane heater seems like a bad idea. Sorry, kids, it's just going to be cold.
Right. So, a couple of the bag stuffing folks came out and helped them, but they actually did most of that. Then we had them clean until we reached the last good bag, and then we stopped. And then the final solution, because this was just an untenable solution, right? Just was not something we could keep doing, is that we went to the storage unit and grabbed bags of yore. We came back to the house, emptied those into yet more brown boxes, and used those to backfill what we needed to do at the very end. So if you are one of those people who gets a vintage, we'll call it vintage, ShmooCon bag, but you won't get it today. Those will be people who check in late tomorrow or maybe perhaps Sunday. You're special.
We took somebody else's car to storage, and there's somebody else there when we were there, and at some point we literally had shoved boxes of old bags in the car, and there was still open air space. So we were just taking bags and shoving it into every orifice inside the car. I cannot imagine watching that, right? You roll up at storage and watching people frantically are they stealing bags? What the hell is going on? And the door's not shutting and bags are falling out. That's enough. And then we just drive off.
That was you, Cosmos, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So weird. About 220 bags fit in a Nissan Rogue when you try hard enough.
Well, they're stuffed bags, mostly.
Stuffed bags,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
again,
stuffed
bags of yore.
Yeah. Bags of
Anyway,
yore.
so that was an adventure. I don't know. We almost didn't have some of our badges this year I mean, that was fun. Apparently, one of the colors on, I think it was the event and staff badges, wasn't setting up properly. So they had to order new filament or something and reprint them. And I was like, cool story. When will they get here? And they arrived
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we got lucky. We
Felt very DEF CON-y. I didn't mean that pejoratively. I mean,
I was going to say we avoided pulling a DEF CON, which was maybe not as nice as
I
what
was going
Bruce
to say
said.
that's actually worse. At least we weren't DEF CON. Woo.
Yeah. But
That was a lot of shade to throw. Jeff Moss calls it an orbital strike. Oh, hi, Jeff. Sorry.
Jeff's here somewhere. Thanks, Jeff. We're being nice. I think he can take it.
Never getting a black badge now.
It's all said in love. Anyway, I mean that's just the nature of the beast, right? It's what happens. We roll with it. We had already solutions for that. And thankfully, it was not going to be your badges. It was subsets of badges. So I am just looking at your kids and seeing how big they are. Holy cow. Okay. Takes a minute. Thank you. If you didn't get a program when you checked in at Reg, please grab one. They are not in your bag, right? So please make sure you got one. They came in late. Not late. They were on time. It's just when your holidays fall in the middle of the week, it really screws up production and timelines, right? So that happened twice. So just to make sure you get one. If you didn't get one, go back to Reg and grab one. Okay. All right. We are almost done with opening. Just a few reminders. We are celebrating 20 years of ShmooCon this weekend. And it's been an incredible time. So I just want to remind you as we go into the weekend that you're here to make memories. We hope that you meet new people, that you find your old friends. As Bruce likes to say, that you learn new shit. What's going on in that? That you find inspiration while you're here. And that above all, that you spend your weekend and you lead it with kindness. We are going to take a small break while we set up for Taskmaster. Who has ever watched the inspiration for Taskmaster? That's the one that ends with Master, right? Best show. Love it, love it, love it. We have parodied that. We did it last year, and we're going to do it again. We will play the first part of that here in just a little bit, but we have just a tiny bit of setup to do for that. I promise you it's going to be funny. Before we do that, I have 2 reminders to tell you about your bag. So when you looked in your bag, you found a light stick. Okay, if you come to the 6 o'clock talk, you will need that light stick, okay? So bring it with you. Rob, well, the Santa hats are going to work in that talk too, right? Yeah, so Bruce and I will be wearing Santa hats for that talk. So bring your light stick to the 6 p.m. talk if you're going to attend that talk, because that's going to be the magic there. In addition, there's a little blue bottle in there. That's not mouthwash. That's all I'm going to say. It's hand sanitizer. And if my staff, Jackie Blanchard says it's mouthwash, don't listen to her. Oh, don't listen to her. She's a liability, that one.
It is kind of minty.
It doesn't smell. It's unscented. Okay, so those are my 2, bag things. Just be aware of that. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. The sponsors really brought it. But I'm looking at you, girlfriend. You are trouble. Just be aware. It doesn't say what it is, so I just wanted you all to know. Please don't do this. Okay? Don't pull a Jackie. Sorry. Jack, when we were doing bag stuffing, the staff, the volunteers that were there just kept saying, more mouthwash, please. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem.
This is how Tide Pod happens. I mean.
Right. Anyway, so we are going to break for just a few minutes. We're going to set up for Taskmaster. Please come back for that. It's hysterical. We have, and I'm going to make them raise their hands. I came back as a contestant. I promise you I will be the worst one. We've got Jessie as a contestant. Can't miss her. She's all neon. We've got Alan Friedman up this year as a contestant. And then where's Moobix? Moobix is also coming up on board as a contestant. And then we've got two lovely, lovely hosts. That would be
Oh, that's me,
and
Bryson.
Bryson Bort. So we're going to be setting up for that here in just a minute. Quick costume change, quick stage reset, and then we will be going. So go take a break, come back, and we'll see you shortly. At 3:30.
It's in your schedule.